Hello again there, everybody. This is going to be Jund League number 101, one for every Dalmatian. So, today we're playing 4 copies of Ignoble Hierarch and 3 copies of Grixis the Hungertide. We've been doing that the past few leagues. I would still like to try Ragavan. I would still like to try Douthie Voidwalker, both in the main. But still, Mana Traders does not yet have the adequate stock to allow everyone to play them at the same time. So again, I was unlucky and couldn't grab them. So in terms of the main deck cards that I'm excited about that are new, we're still on 4 Ignoble, still on 3 Grist. Going off of previous experience just in the past small handful of leagues, Grist has been quite impressive, as I was hoping it would be. And Ignoble Hierarch has been pretty polarizing. It's looked pretty good on the first turn, but after the first or second turn, when you're no longer really trying to curve out and pull ahead early, it kind of just feels like a worse land. So along the lines of it being kind of a land, we're playing 22 lands in combination with the 4 Hierarch. Not at all convinced that these numbers are correct, but since it's early in these cards' lifespans, we're having more cards, more copies of them than would maybe be correct, because we want to see them often just so we can get data with them. So again, just 4 Ignoble the main, 3 Grist to the main. Those are the only new cards in the main deck. Over in the sideboard, we're playing 3 copies of Obsidian Charmaw. I was originally playing 3 Charma and 2 of the Kill a Colorless or Snowland in the sideboard, but just as a pure meta call, there really isn't that much big mana out there right now. There's some Amulet Titan, but there really aren't very many variations of Tron at the moment. And I think that's because a lot of people are playing the sweet new cards, which are kind of not Tron. They're anti-Tron for a lot of for the most part, being like Charmon, the thing I just mentioned, the double black thing. So people are busy playing their brews, and there aren't as many people playing Tron and Eldrazi Tron. So purely as a meta call, I'm just on 3 of those cards because we got to imagine they're going to work pretty much as expected. This is probably going to be Pillage with upside. In the right matchup, the double black thing is probably just going to be Sinkhole. So, I mean, we're going to imagine they work pretty much as expected. I don't think there needs to be a whole lot of testing behind it, but I still want to try it out. So, we're going to just play the Charm for now. There have been a lot of graveyard decks hovering around lately as well. So, for now, to replace the 2 copies of the double black thing, we got another double black card in Leyline of the Void. So, again, because of all the graveyard decks, we're playing Leyline. So, now our graveyard package is 2 Leyline, 2 Ashiok, and 2 Spellbomb. So a good amount of graveyard hate in the sideboard here. Let's look at the current modern metagame. And again, as I just mentioned, lots of people are running around with their sweet new brews. And this particular spreadsheet is on a 30-day refresh rate, so it's only the most recent 30 days worth of stuff. It's not like every 30 days it changes. It's every new day, the 30th most recent day gets kicked off, so it shifts like day by day, but it takes into account the 30 most recent days. So since the new set's only been out for I think less than a week, it's still like literally the span of Modern Horizons is only encompassed in about 20% of this. So this is not going to be immediately indicative of what we're expecting to see. Not to say that we won't see these decks with some Modern Horizons 2 modifications, but this isn't going to be as a close a parallel as it usually is. So with that said, let's just jump right into the leagues, and I'll catch up with the chat, assuming y'all were talking. Alright, there's that. Come on. There we go. Okay, cool. Udok says let's go. Yep, let's do it. Whew. It's only 10 p.m. We'll be fine. I can finish this before I gotta go to sleep. As long as we don't have 5 like 40-minute matches. You like the spice I added against living in on YouTube? Yeah, you like that, huh? That was funny. I was like, for science, right? Gotta bring in the Wombo combo. Discard Outlet plus Obsidian Charma. This hand looks good. We've got a turn 2 Liliana. Would obviously be a lot better if we were on the play, but it's looking fine here. Oh, it's Elves. Interesting. Well, obviously being on the play would have been absurd. So we may be needing to play a little catch-up. Bacon Baker, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. Korean Ranger, yep. Return a forest on top of thing. Okay, gotta kill that, right? Lots of ignobles. Alright, well, edicting one thing doesn't really do a lot, right? So we're gonna stomp almost for sure, right? Something to keep in mind, Terminate says can't be regenerated, and the other important 3-mana elf regenerates stuff, but this gets around that, so that's cool. So let's go Blackleaf Cliffs and stomp this one for sure, right? So red, a color, and then let's just play another ignoble. So maybe next turn we get to kill 2 things using Terminate and an Edict. Maybe they're land light because they only had that 1 land. Or they bounced the land. Yeah, being on the play this game would have been insane. So they're back to 2 mana. Yeah, they're going pretty wide. Edicts from the Liliana are already pretty much doing nothing. This Terminate's gonna have to be directed at the War Master, I believe. Yeah, no block, clearly. So instead of Liliana, we're pretty likely to just Bone Crusher. Although, I mean, the opponent's only got 1 land. We could pretty significantly cut them off of mana if we just kill 2 things. Those 2 things being the Mystic and the War Master. The War Master is a lot less threatening, assuming they don't have a crap ton of mana. So what we could always do is we could play other Ignoble Hierarch. We could kill this immediately, and then just wait to terminate. Like, if they put something on the stack, we could always just respond. And, like, this is the creature they're untapping to make mana, so let's just kill that. We could kill this, but this also kind of makes mana as long as they don't have a land. And, like, they have to attack to untap something. But they don't actually have to untap something, right? They can then untap something that's already untapped. So, yeah, we'll push this with that, play another ignoble, and I guess I could attack for 3. I mean, I'm not really blocking. They could double block. If they double block here, I get to kill my choice, which seems good. If they go block, I get to kill 2 things, and when I kill another thing, the board's pretty small. I'd have to fetch Shock to terminate, so maybe that's something I should have thought of. No, I don't, though, right? Because I can just get Swamp and then tap this for red. Yeah, let's get in for 3. This might be a little suspicious, because they know we had the option of casting Bone Crusher here, and this attack means I can't. So this costs 7 to activate, so that's a chunk. So in response to basically any elf, I'm going to kill the War Master. Yep. Let's kill the War Master. I mean, this one's maybe even worse for us. They're really far off from activating the ability of either of them, but this one makes everything bigger. Kind of feel like I gotta kill this. Like, just let them have the 1/1. They can get a pretty decent hit in here. Yeah, and I don't have a real good block. I mean, my saving grace is that they're short on mana. That was a good draw. So we can attack for 3, play both of our things. So if they attack all, I'm probably just gonna end up blocking with the Bob. But their attacks aren't even that good. Like, if they throw everything into us, we get to trade pretty well and not even take a big hit. Man, if we were on the play, this would not even be close. We would have gotten to Liliana their 1-drop. Isn't Hierarch a little awkward with BBE? Yeah, it is. One of the reasons why I'm not sure that Ignoble belongs here, but you never know. We're playing 2 BBE, so it's not like it's not going to be like a super common occurrence, but it is still annoying, you're right. Yeah. They are shipping? This feels good for me. Let's kill that and kill that. They have 3 mana if they want it, but they don't have an outlet for it. And they're still kind of swarming me. That's good. So I can set them back to 1 mana again. And then I can edict, I guess, an elf. It's not great. I'm going to have to make some chumps on this, but I can eat otherwise. It's not looking great. We are almost in chump. We're pretty much in chump block territory. I think I have to kill this now so they just don't have the mana. If I kill this now, am I just dead? I can block, take 2. Yeah, I'm not dead. It's looking dicey. Yeah. Hitting an exalted creature does make Bloodbraid attack for 4. You're just going straight to me? Okay, so let's go to block. Let's kill this one. Block that. This would have me taking 3. Is it worth it to keep a second Ignoble alive? That has us at 5 mana, which is more than we'll ever need. The most we'll ever need is 4. So they've got 2 cards left. They actually hit a land. So if they play, let's say, another 2/2 next turn, they're going to get to attack with 2 2/2s and 3 1/1s. So if I can block the 2 2/2s, I would also have to block. I would have to block at least 1 1/1, but I'll have 2. Yeah, this is fine, I think. Maybe the Exalted matters, and I think I can afford it. Sure. Alright, well, they've only got 1 card left. Liliana gets to eat it. Ooh, that was good. Let's play that. Alright. Let's just do this immediately. It was a Realm Walker? Deal. I could just sacrifice it in Ignoble to kill the Curian Ranger. This blocks here, I take 2, go to 1. Or I could just make a 1/1 blocker. So like letting this live lets them have 3 mana, so if they find another Realm Walker, they could play it. similar with the Eldritch Archdruid, but I could always just activate the Grist next turn and kill it. So I think I'm just gonna go up and start assembling an army. Emil the Goyf. Do I want to attack? I don't have good blocks if I do attack. I guess I could attack with an Ignoble. They can untap stuff. It would hit for 2, which means they could untap a 2/2 and then block, but it doesn't seem good for them. So if I attack for 2 and they attack all, I go block, take 1. Even if they draw a Lord, I would go to 1. Yeah, I'm gonna get in. So yeah, keeping second and Noble paid off because that allowed me to attack past the Dwinnen's Elite. That said, I'm almost definitely just gonna have this thing die. Just all at me. Trade. Go to 1. We drew a bolt. Well, that's good. We can get in for 5. I can make a 1/1. I think I'm just cashing in this Liliana. It's not doing much else. So now if I make a 1/1, I can attack for 5. Then I can block with the 1/1, bolt the other. Yeah, if that feels good. Let's make a 1/1. We can get in for 5. And then just say go. We can bolt at instant speed. So I think we're locked now. So we just block like this, bolt them. We get to kill them now. I mean, we also get to just kill them with the Grist. Yeah, let's kill them with the Grist. That's cooler. Yeah, this game did have some sweet lines. Glad they worked out. I mean, I think I did the Ignoble Hierarch. The opponent said you had the GG. Yeah, we were going for style points. All right, Elves. What do we think about this Plague Engineer card? I think it might be good. Fatal Push, Brutality. That seems like about all we want to bring in. The discard's gonna be pretty bad after like the first couple of turns, but it might be just good enough on the play. We really want something to do on our first turn. This matchup just seems like it's gonna be on the excellent side. I'm almost wanting to just cut the Blood Braids, just cut the stuff at the top. Honestly, Kolaghan's Command might just be one of our weaker cards. They're not really killing our stuff. They don't really have any artifacts we want to shatter, and them discarding a card just isn't that great. So I mean, it's looking like this is gonna be 3 mana shock a lot of the time. We need 2 more cuts. We really don't need the Ignobles in this matchup, right? Like, we're going to be prioritizing casting our 1 mana interaction anyway, so maybe we just don't need the Ignoble. That seems fine. You're saying to trim the Lily since they go so wide? That's reasonable. It might be just better than Kolaghan's Command. I kind of like it. We'll give it a shot. Good call. Like it targets, right? So if we need to kill something good, I mean the downside of bringing in this would be like if they've got something like a Realm Walker, which is I believe at 2/3. But if it's the only creature in play, that's the way that it would bite us. Maybe targeting is better on average. We'll give it a go. I like it. Udok slowly becoming convinced of Grist. It's been great. Speaking of great, I think I will shock on one. Yeah, I'm shocking on one clearly now. Gotta kill that thing. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have fetched shocked. My mind was trigger happy. Because next turn I could Blooming Marsh into Renin 6, but I'm pretty likely to just ping something with Renin 6 next turn anyway. Unless they play an X2. We drew another fetch. Well, I guess now I'll just get Basic Forest. I do want to get some value off of this Renin 6, especially because we've got Collected Brutality. And I'm not playing Kroxa in this list, so I can be less fearful of my Basic Forest. Sure. So if we had a Liliana here instead of the Kolaghan's Command, it would look great. I mean, it's still good now. And I think I'm going to Brutality, despite it being less mana efficient, because this is going to be the opponent's Collected Company turn coming up, and I get to still hold up Bolt. So we'll 2-mode it, and just buy back the land with the Renin 6. So -2/-2, reveal your hand. I mean, it's honestly kind of free to just drain them too. Like we just buy it all back. Let's just do all 3 modes. Who knows? The 2 life could come up. And like the lands are just free to buy back. So let's just bounce these fetches. And they did have the company. Sick. All right, so now we get to hold up bolts and just buy some of these lands right on back. Yep. So these are both X2s, so I'm going to have to target them. They've got 1 card left. I guess we'll just have them discard it with Kolaghan's Command, assuming we find nothing better to do. And we're on our way to a Renin 6 Ultimate, and that might just be how we win. Alright, well, I mean, you discard a card is not getting much better than you having 1 card in hand. So I guess we'll just do it. I guess it's pretty much free to just get our basic mountain now. See no real reason to wait. And I want to do this now because I don't want to get Veil of Summered. It was another Peatland, so I guess that kind of stopped them from drawing a card. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Renin 6 might be the realistic way we have to win this. We obviously have a bunch of threats we could just draw. But I mean, we're still soft to potential Collected Companies if they hit nuts. OP scoop incoming. They say flooded pretty hard, GG. Alright. Yeah, I'll take it. Nice. Yeah, that matchup on the play feels pretty unlosable. On the draw, it could get dicey like that first game. But like you saw, it was dicey game 1 because we were on the draw, and then if had we been on the play, we could have Liliana edicted their 1 mana creature, and they didn't have another land. That would have been absurd. Were they running the dinosaur? We didn't see it. Technically, the Realm Walker is a dinosaur, right? Because it's a shapeshifter, but I doubt that's the one you were talking about. Johnny Quest. Yeah. We've got some run in sixes and we've got a Thoughtseize. Missing pressure, and we're going to eventually need a third land. Ancestral Vision. All right, so this is looking like a Cascade deck. Maybe it looks more like a Value Town Cascade deck, right? Because like, I guess they could still play that and the Rhinos. Ooh, Profane Tutor, Bolt Bolt. This is not exactly what I was expecting. I guess I'll take Profane Tutor. The opponent's doing something interesting. This Vision's going to be a short-term problem. Fetch land? I think I'm still just going to set a run in 6 up to 4. Get it going. Obviously, a fetch would have been ideal, but we drew a card we could cast. Oh, they're going to double bolt this thing and we just have another? Or you drew a counter? Counter spell. Okay, so maybe... Counter spell means they just can't possibly be playing Cascade spells, right? I mean, I guess they could, but I mean, it's kind of a non-bo with counter spell. Unless you want to counter your own thing. Shock. Okay, they're just drawing hot. I get it. Alright, well... We're not dead. Obviously, land would be our best draw, because we would love the Liliana here. Liliana's going to look bad in the face of the Vision. We hit it. Cool. So, we know about double bolt. I guess we could still just run in 6 and bolt. I would love to resolve the Liliana, but run in 6 feels pretty powerful as well. And Set X, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So, we've got the option between Liliana plus or run in 6 plus. Our hand's pretty expensive, so I'm kind of liking getting the run in 6 down to start getting some lands back. Especially in the face of Ancestral Vision, Liliana looks a little bit weaker. So let's just run in 6, buy back a land, Inquisition them. And we can get basic Swamp for free. We know they've got 2 bolts, so we'll just take one of them. It was actually maybe correct to just hold the Inquisition. We could have Inquisitioned post Ancestral Vision. Unfortunately, since all their powerful stuff like this is free now, it's unlikely we would actually get to take it, but I think maybe still right to consider it. So their hand is Lightning Bolt. Goyf was a good one. We can do one thing this turn. It's not going to be Kolaghan's Command, so it's Liliana or Goyf. If we Liliana, they're just going to bolt us in response. And Belleth MTG, thank you for the follow as well. I think I am going to go for the Liliana over the Goyf, because then next turn we can always Kolaghan's Command and Tarmogoyf in the same turn. So double spelling seems nice next turn. Also, they could easily draw a counter off of this, so this may be our best window to resolve the Liliana. And if we lead on Tarmogoyf next turn and they counter, we could always Kolaghan's Command bite back. And then doing this fetch now because it's a free discard to the Liliana. Second Liliana might be good. Not gonna play her on Blood Moon. Let's get red and black Blood Crypt. So we can just have this be tapped now. If they draw another copy of Lightning Bolts, they can finish off a walker, but I'm not going to play around that. I'm going to at least make it so they can't bolt the Liliana. And then I'll ditch the Mire. They're just bolting Ren and 6 now. Well, they have to now, right? So maybe that makes me change my mind. I mean, I've already got my 5th land. I still think I'm just going to... Well, I'd be discarding the land, right? Maybe I just ditch the Liliana. I mean, we've already got the other one. No, this game's going long. I'm gonna find lands, and we'll just get it back, assuming they don't just draw the kill spell anyway. I'll ditch the land. I'm gonna need all my action, I think. All right, you're up to 4 cards. Scary. So this just looks like Grixis control with As Foretold. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Wonder what the finish is. Ooh. So this is +1 drain. And then its minus is gain control of a creature or planeswalker until end of turn. Untap it, put a corruption counter on it, it gains haste. So if I play a creature, they could corrupt it. And then like smack one of my own walkers, which is scary. They've got 4 cards. It's just like if I don't play a walker, things get scary too. If I don't play a creature, because then I can't pressure the walker, and then it gains protection from it, right? Gains protection from things with corruption counters. So it's looking pretty good on this board. I mean, if they don't steal it, then it goes up to... If they do steal it, their thing will go to 2, and then I could Kolaghan's command it. So maybe I just have to play a creature to bait it. If I plus Liliana to 5, they don't just kill my Liliana. Guess let's buy back a land. Play a land. Then get rid of Ignoble. They could also just like have a 2-mana counterspell here. They can cast for free off of As Foretold. Hopefully that's not the case. Alright. Yep, this is a scary card with vision. They're up 4 cards from it. They are doing it. Oh, they're putting a corruption on this. Okay, so I didn't realize that they get the corruption counter either way. Geez, 3rd vision. Yeah, this engine's gonna be hard to beat. They're up 6 cards now. Each one being +2s. You still have to spend a card to get 3 cards. Yeah. You're gonna bolt Ren in 6. Yeah, that makes some sense. So this has protection from Goyf now. Do I want a Kolaghan's command? Does it even do anything? So this gains controls of planeswalkers too. So if I put this to ultimate range, they could just kill it. They could just ultimate me, which doesn't seem great. Saying this is where Void Mirror looks good. Yeah, Void Mirror would stop this. See, there aren't even many good modes on Kolaghan's command right now, though. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shock this. And I guess have them discard a card. That means that Bloodbraid becomes a good draw, because I could always Edict the Snapcaster to get this out of the way, and maybe I can attack it. It's unlikely to work, but I think that's the only the only real high risk line that actually has me maybe coming back. So I guess we can return Ignoble. Is that better than them discarding a card? I don't think so. So they'll discard 2 to that. Drew Ignoble anyway. Well, I think I have to Edict and play the Ignoble, because if they just steal my Liliana, they're going to Edict my Tarmogoyf unless I put something in front of it. And then I'll play this first so I can attack for 1 more. Can't attack this because it's got protection from permanents with corruption counters. Yeah, this card, I wasn't super high on it in the beginning, but I didn't realize that the plus put a corruption counter on a creature. That might actually just be good. It doesn't kill a creature, but it protects itself. Jeez. Well, I doubt I'm beating any card from their deck that they went to search for. This deck is sweet, though. As for Told Control. I got a friend who would love this. Buyback Snapcaster, right? Discard. Alright, that'll about do it. So they're playing Snapcaster and Kolaghan's Command. I don't think that's reason enough to bring in Leyline. That seems excessive. But Brutality seems good. Ashiok seems good. I guess the Spell Bomb. They didn't have many creatures. Let's take out the pushes. Let's take out the Terminates as well. K-Mod TV, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Everything else seems like it's going to be fine. We need 3 cuts as is. I'm not taking out any of the walkers versus the control deck. Liliana is weaker versus Ancestral Vision, so maybe that's reason enough to cut them. But on the play, they are better. The bolts seem pretty weak. They can go at the Planeswalkers, but I think my best way to kill the Planeswalkers are going to be to attack it. The issue is I have to really swarm the board to be able to attack it effectively, because they can put corruption counters on stuff. I mean, Bolt kind of feels like it could be better than Ignoble Hierarch, but I feel like the dream of turn 1 Ignoble into any of my Planeswalkers is going to be too attractive. I think maybe on the draw I make the swap. Let's go first. We've got Ignoble into a Walker. So let's go Blooming Marsh on 1, Ignoble, turn 2 Blackleaf Liliana. We've also got the Forgotten Cave Run and 6 combo. Good night, Udok. Alright, so Blooming Marsh, Ignoble. And if they kill this, we could at least Ren and 6. Boo. Alright, Ren and 6, I guess. Fetch land? Not quite. Alright, Blackleaf, Ren and 6. That at least means we can cast Liliana next turn, though. Again, we're missing pressure. Just Profane Tutor on Suspend. Thoughtseize. Do I have to do that? I think I have to do that. Because this could be the turn where they get to play As Foretold. I need to make sure that doesn't happen. I guess I could cycle Forgotten Cave first. Get some information. Sure. Ignoble. Well, I guess I get to play that. Thoughtseize. Hopefully they only have 1 copy of As Foretold if they've got it. Whoa. They've got 2 lands, Snapcaster, Jace, Inevitable Betrayal. Search target opponent's library for a creature card and put it onto the battlefield under your control. Oh, so it's Bribery. And 2 Ancestral Vision. They do have a Profane Tutor coming off in 2 turns. I gotta assume that's getting As Foretold, and when it does get As Foretold, I think I just have to take the Visions, because those really bury me. The Jace I have hopes of attacking / pinging with the Ren and 6. Snapcaster will be annoying in that it can maybe start flashing back Fatal Push to kill whatever creatures I put into play to pressure this Jace, but these Visions are going to absolutely bury me when they get there As Foretold. think I'm just going to take it. And then we'll shock. Say yes. Buy this back. Play an Ignoble. Go. Not sure that turn was correct, but I did what I could. Shock? Oh, they're just gonna snap push now. I mean, I get to now run in 6 the Snapcaster, which means that threat. Damn it! I was gonna say maybe I get to start playing a threat. I mean, we get to get Liliana down here, which feels like it's gonna be good. I was really hoping to be able to contest Jace, but if they just zero the Jace, we can Kolaghan's Command and ping it. I mean, I gotta assume they're getting As Foretold, though, and just drawing 3 immediately, which is not ideal. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna play Liliana, play a Blackleaf Cliffs, ping this. They have Bolt in the deck, so if I ping this and plan on pinging Jace, that goes to 3, and then I could lose it. And it is relevant that I want to play Forgotten Cave. I could just Liliana Edict, but all 3 of these cards in their hand are pretty high value. I'll be happy if they discard any of them. Yeah, I'll go downstairs, hope they don't find a Bolt. Should have plussed first so they discard without info, but I feel like it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Ditch a cave, play a Blackleaf Cliffs. Because I'm probably going to end up buying this back anyway. I want to play the lands that generate mana. This doesn't get walkers, does it? Just a creature. Alright, so you get the Demonic Tutor. I'm gotta imagine they're getting the As Foretold. Yep, draw 3. And that's why I took the first copy. Come on, I need a threat. That works. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to plus to get back Forgotten Cave and then just ditch it to the Liliana because I like both the cards in my hand. And then I'm hoping that Bloodbraid hits any source of additional pressure. Because if they have a way to deal with the creature, I'm going to want to make sure I have a creature to continue threatening something. So we want like a Goyf, we want a Bob, another Liliana. No. That was a big miss. I want the Kolaghan's Command in hand. Casting other Liliana just has us having a Liliana with 2 fewer loyalty. So that was a big miss. They can get my Grist. That's true. It's a creature. That is true. Here's the Jace. Alright, so we're going to hope that we can attack it down. They can still cast Lightning Bolt for free to kill the Bloodbraid. But I mean, we're going to at least get to kill this, right? Because we can always ping it and Kolaghan's Command. Alright, well, we get to buy that back. We get to plus Liliana up to 6. Hopefully they don't have their Grixis Walker and they just ultimate us. That would be pretty unfortunate. So I guess I'm going to plus and discard Swamp. Each player discards a card. Ditch this. Alright, and we can also just have them ditch their last card, but I really want this Bloodbraid back. They did Brainstorm. It's close. I definitely need to kill this. So that has me pinging and shocking. I just don't know what the other mode is. It's either you discard or buy back Bloodbraid. But I mean, since they Brainstormed, they could have very easily hidden their good thing on top, which is what they would do if it's good, right? Burnino, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. So I guess I'm just buying back Bloodbraid since their good thing is probably hidden on top. So return, shock. Ping. Hope you don't ultimate a Liliana at me. They didn't? Alright, well, I'm gonna pop this off. What are you doing? Don't know what this is. Draw 2? Sure. So definitely gonna high prioritize that. Maybe I just do this. That seems good. Like, all of their lands are good. This at least makes it hard. Like, they can cast free spells with this. So I think that's probably fine. Did they scoop? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's correct to leave a land with that or not. I think it's close. I mean, my sideboard plan looked fine. Despite taking out bolts, we were still able to burn down walkers, so that's cool, I guess. Like, we still have Kolaghan's Command, Ren and 6, Bone Crusher as sources of direct damage, but that's about it, unless you count, like, haste. Yeah, I mean, we're on the draw now, so I mentioned maybe Ignobles are weaker. They're definitely weaker. I just don't know by how much. I think I might just resubmit. I mean, turn 2 Planeswalker is still going to be good, but it's worse when they could have Counterspell, since they're on the play. Yeah, I'll resubmit. I mean, we're playing Ignoble for science, right? Ignoble's been pretty daunting. Well, it's worse than a land here. If we could guarantee a green source on top, this hand is the nuts. But without a green source on top, I think it's too risky. We do almost nothing if we don't have it. Yeah. Don't want to go to 5. Guess we'll bottom second copy of Spellbomb. We're 2 black off of Ashiok, but I think it's going to be good enough, assuming we get there. Black source, please. Not quite. I think I'm just gonna play the Forgotten Cave. Like, I could cycle it to try to find black sources, but I don't have any more lands, period. You know what, let's shock this and get the spell bomb in. And then ideally we just hit the untapped land. And if not, well, it's gonna be rough. Cool. So I guess that means we get to play Tarmogoyf here. It's gonna be inside bolt range. I guess if they try to bolt it, we could always spellbomb targeting them. We'll have land artifact, and then when the instant resolves, Goyf will be big enough to survive. I mean, the spellbomb will still get to 1-for-1 in the sense that we've neutralized a in the sense that we've neutralized a lightning bolt. It's not the ideal case for it. Had we played the Forgotten Cave on 1, we could maybe play the Grist on 2. Sorry, on 3. Obviously, Tarmogoyf is indifferent to push. It's going to die to that no matter what. God as foretold. Yeah. No 0 mana thing, though, apparently. Darn. Alright, well, I guess we're playing this. Pretty clunky hand. We have cards that are good, but not great versus this. Bribery. Oof. I wonder if they can search. Can't cause their controller to search their library. So this still works because they search our library, not their library. Yeah, they did get the grist. You got Jace too. Oh, this thing? I'm just dead. I'm just dead. I'll save everyone's time. Damn, if we had one more grist on hand, they couldn't have been able to get him, right? Because we have 3, we had 2 in hand. That was a close one. The As Foretold engine in that deck is really bad for us. I mean, maybe it's right to just risk it and keep our 1 land 7 card hand. Because if we have Green Source exactly on top, our hand is really, really good. But I mean, even if we had it on top, we're not guaranteed to get there. Like, our hand was just good. But I mean, a really, really good hand in a game that goes as long as those games tend to go. Kind of doesn't matter if they just draw better. Yeah, I think mulliganing there was probably right. I think not mulliganing the 6 was also probably right. I mean, the one thing I could have done better, I think, is if had I played tap land on turn 1, we could have maybe played our grist on 3. So yeah, maybe that was the mistake. Blitzberg is saying Decay would be good here or Trophy. Well, I never ever liked Trophy, but Decay would have been good there, yeah, because we could have dealt with the As Foretold. They had pushed for life, so that Iggy would have died most likely. Yeah, that's true. What did I lose to? We just lost to Grixis As Foretold Control. They were playing As Foretold to get free Profane Tutors and Ancestral Visions. Kahira, so that's probably, I guess, a control deck with no other creatures in the deck. I mean, if it's a control deck, Red and 6 is going to be a powerhouse, and I guess all of our walkers are. Okay, not what I was expecting. So it has to be cats, elementals, nightmares, or dinosaurs, or beasts? I mean, it has to be a creature deck, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't play Vile. Alright, go. Tribal something or other. With Sunbaked Canyon. Place your bets now. What are they playing? It's one of the 5 tribes. Justin. Oh, you subbed. Wow, I appreciate it. I don't have my alerts the different for subs versus follows. So I always assume they're follows, and then I'm pleasantly surprised when I see it's a sub. I appreciate it. It can't be goblins, right? Because it has to be a cat, elemental, a nightmare, a dinosaur, or a beast. It's got to be one of the 5 because of the companion. You have the content on the YouTube. I appreciate it. The public support means a great deal to me. That said, if you think there are things that I can improve, P South Playa also with the Prime sub. Wow, thanks. I appreciate it. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, I guess the jig will be up. It's elementals. Okay. Elementals. What you got for us? Yeah, you gotta get good mileage out of those Bob emotes, right? Skelemental. Does this make us discard if they hit walkers? I don't think it does. Yeah. Kolaghan's Command's an interesting one, but I would really like to, I guess, just get another Planeswalker going. So I guess which one would I be least sad about if they just Skelementaled again? They could have the Thunderkin Awakener, in which case I think I want to keep the Liliana, because then I could Edict the Thunderkin Awakener. So I guess that means I'm playing Grist. I can also just buy Grist back with Kolaghan's Command. So let's Grist it up. You've watched pretty much all of it. Wow. Yeah, I'll try to keep putting out great stuff as long as people want to watch. Am I ready for Omnath to get vialed in? That would be special. Is this the Awakener? Could have held up Kolaghan's Commands to maybe try to stop this. But then if they don't have it, it's worse for me, right? I guess I could always just Kolaghan's Command if they had one other one of these. So yeah, maybe it was right to just hold up removal. I've got so much action, it feels like I could take the higher risk play, because even if they've got the payoff, it's not so terrible for me. So this is just a Lord. That's a good sign. I mean, they've got Vial on 3/2, so they can do basically anything they want anyway. So another Elemental. Well, obviously Elemental. I mean, like Skelemental. It is. Alright, so they're going to get to bring back this thing. At me, and then I guess this other one at Grist. If they don't kill Grist, I get to just kill their thing for free with the onboard. So this is at the Grist. So this one isn't going to affect me. Do I want to save 1 point of damage? I don't think so. I'll just discard my 2. I want to keep a land. Ren and 6 seems like it's going to be pretty strong versus them. Is it right to maybe just discard the Bloodbraid because I want to keep all of my stuff that kills stuff? I guess what's the plan moving forward? Definitely have to kill this somehow. I guess this would do it, this would do it. This doesn't do it if they play another creature. So let's discard a land. I guess I'll get basic mountain, so I'll ditch Verdant. And it's between Bloodbraid, Ren and 6. I guess it's just Ren and 6. And they pass. This doesn't mean they don't have a creature, because they could vial in one on 2. So I think I'm still incentivized to use the Kolaghan's Command here, as opposed to anything else. And I think I might just go after Vial on 2, as opposed to having them discard a card. Glyph's a good one. Maybe we get to double spell next turn. So I think what I'm doing here is killing this, doing this. If they've got another one of these, it'll be unfortunate, but they're just going to vial that in anyway. Killing this will at least prevent them from vialing them in the future, but they could also just cast them. So maybe just having them discard a card is better, because at this point, any spell gets to come in. Yeah, I think I'm going to have them discard a card. They haven't missed any land drops, though, so they could just very easily have a land. Glyph isn't quite big enough to stop one of these things. Yeah, I'm going to kill this, and I guess shatter that. So, destroy an artifact, 2 to a target. That. I could kill the one on 3, but then they just put that one up to 3, so I feel like I prevent more. I cut off more options by just killing that. And then I don't have a good block on a Skelemental, so I guess we're getting in. Had to restart phone. Was going to say that commentary is just great always. Talk about even the smallest decisions. Yeah, I try to mention just about everything. I'm glad it helps you. All right, so yeah, they do just have more lands. I'm gonna put this into play and then vial it in. Yeah, so they've got Kahira now, which is a Lord. Got to assume that's what their plan's going to be. So we've only got 1 red right now. And 2 black. I think I'm going to get another black source, because if I draw Fatal Push, I'm going to want to be able to Liliana and do that. Ooh, we drew Grist. We still can't double spell. I could Liliana plus, but I don't have a good block when they violin a creature. So I think I'm just going to Bloodbraid because it's the most expensive thing, and then maybe next turn we get to double spell, and if not, then maybe we just get to play a powerful Planeswalker and kill it with kill something with the Grist, with the insect that's already in play. I'm not going to attack, obviously. Well, assuming I'm not blocking with this, I could attack, because if they violin this, I could then Edict it. But that has me getting blown out to Thunderkin Awakener or any of the elemental effects. I think I'm just going to Bloodbraid. We hit Tarmogoyf. Not huge. And obviously, since I'm casting the haste creature pre-combat, I no longer have an attack on insect, but that's fine. I don't think there's anything that would blow out a Bloodbraid in combat off of Vial for 3. So let's just jam. Could potentially make my blocks worse. But I mean, if I'm not attacking, if I don't plan on blocking, I'm definitely attacking, right? I could always chump with insect, but that makes Grist worse. So I'm gonna try to prioritize the life of my insect. Not afraid to jump with it if I have to, though. Yeah, they're keeping Vial at 3. No Omnaths. Oh, maybe Omnath. Shriekmaw is in fact an elemental. True enough. So they've got an attack for 3 now, not the worst. Vigilance, yep. Alright. Land would be fine. Another Liliana. So if I Liliana Edict, they're just going to sack this, right? If I Grist, I can sack this, take my pick. This has Fear, right? So it can only be blocked by artifact creatures and or black creatures. So neither of these can block it. So I actually kind of want to prioritize killing this. So if I Liliana Edict, which one would they even sacrifice? I'm not sure. The worst case scenario is they violence something on 3 and sack that. Kind of want to just Liliana, though. It's close. If I Liliana Edict and they have nothing, what are they sacrificing? I mean, this is, if they sacrifice this, it goes down to a 3. It goes down to 3 power creature. If they sacrifice this, obviously it's a 0 power creature. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Liliana because this may also just draw an attack. We can target something next turn, maybe. Alright, they did get rid of the Shriekmaw. Okay. Kind of what I was hoping for. Yeah, maybe they just do have another land. They haven't missed a land drop yet, because remember, they sacrificed a Canyon. They played the land. Well, I think that's probably a bad play, assuming they're just going to discard a card. I guess if they draw on a spell, then they're just going to empty their hand anyway. It doesn't matter. Oh, wow, Voice. Voice is historically quite good versus Jund. Just because it's a multi for 1. We're going to have to play at sorcery speed. Alright, well, we do get to double spell now. And I do want to plus the Liliana because that gets another Edict charged up. So I guess I'm going to go Goyf plus Grist, including the land. Discard other copy of Liliana. And that has me having significant enough shields where I think I'm okay just killing the Kahira now. Yeah, so we'll go here, 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 Load up my Edict. And then I can sack Insect to kill something now. Let's do it. Gonna kill the Kahira because if this comes back, if we kill this, if we kill this, they're still just gonna have 2 creatures, which means that it's gonna be a lot harder for me to defend my planeswalkers. There are a lot of draws that would be bad for us though. Like Skelementals would be bad, Thunderkins would be bad. More Voices, not ideal. Just another Glyph. Sure. These are 5/6, pretty hefty. Do I have an attack? I kind of do. If I attack and they block, they make an elemental, I can then make them sack. That might at least have us dealing with the Voices. The issue is the token they make scales, assuming they don't draw completely terribly. Let's plus. Mill a Swamp, good mill. I mean, short of hoping that this is going to ultimate, it's not getting much better. I kind of like just edicting. We can attack first, get some info. I'm gonna hit with 1 Goyf. Obviously only 1. Guess I could have attacked with this. Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent as to whether or not the opponent blocks here, but I guess I gotta work through these eventually. So the sooner the better. And again, this Edict is not getting much better. If they draw a worse creature, they're just going to sacrifice that. So I think the sooner the better on this. Okay. Go. Alright, so we've at least worked through the elementals. Or this. This is still good. What is this? Is this Omnath? It is Omnath. Wow. Not the Omnath we were expecting. But it's pretty good here. So I think every land, it's on 8 lands, right? If you control 8 or more. That was a pretty terrible draw. We can attack. They can double block, though. That was nutty. I guess we're passing. I could attack for 3. There's no way they trade, right? Yeah. Didn't think so. We're in a top deck war. I mean, every land is bad for us, though. Every land after this land just draws them a card. Pretty brutal. They even killed our Grist. We need a way to kill this pronto. This is why we take out discard spells in mid-range battles. A guy at your store plays this. It gives you fits. I mean, it's a pretty fair deck. But yeah, I mean, they've got some above average draws. They've got some above average draws. Jeez. That draws a card. Feeling pretty dead from this point. If they somehow brick in like back-to-back turns and I can draw 2 removal spells, then maybe. Yeah, like this opponent's ability to grind is pretty strong. Did you Thunderkin as well? Okay. Jeez. Yeah, Omnath was pretty good, not gonna lie. So Spellbomb's gonna be good for Thunderkin purposes. Engineer should be quite strong. Brutality is just another thing that kills a creature. I guess Push is similar. Let's take out discard spells. Ooh, thank you. That's 60 right there. I got some watermelon. Juicy watermelon. think I'm just going to submit this. We could Ashiok, just as more Grave Hate. That feels unnecessary, especially when they just don't have fetches. I think the next closest bring in is Brutality, just because it kills something. That doesn't seem very good. What's up, Insect? How's Iggy doing? It's pretty unexciting. We've had a couple like turn 2, 3-mana Planeswalker, but that's kind of the ceiling on it. And a lot of the time, like that's a good play, but it's not the end all be all. Yeah. I guess I'm bottoming Mountain. We need another land to cast Liliana anyway. And thank you for the follow. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but thank you regardless. Got your vial. Time to tutor. Time to tutor. This is really annoying because it's not something I want to kill, but it's pretty awkward in terms of Liliana. It just like protects something else. So I think I'm shocking here. Reason being is I kind of have to bolt this thing out of the way, and I think I'm actually just going to pop the spell bomb because I think hitting third land is going to be pretty important. Maybe that's just not accurate because like we can kill anything anyway. So maybe trying to just play Liliana as soon as possible just isn't a high enough priority. Activated abilities cost 2 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. That includes fetch lands. So if I'm going to use Spellbomb, I've got to do it now. Includes Planeswalkers too. So if I play Liliana next turn, I can't even activate it. Brutal. Yeah, I guess I'm going to Spellbomb now. I'll bolt first so I can at least kill it. We drew Grist. Well, similar issue. Abilities cost mana. Well, I guess we're playing that. The threat was good here. Remember, even fetch lands aren't that great because we gotta pay 2. Guess they took out Vials? Yeah, maybe. Is it the Reef time? It's the Reef time. To no one's surprise, they name Elemental. Yep. And I think I'm gonna, I was gonna say use push if I draw something good because like, I need Revolt to I need Revolt to kill the haste stuff that costs 3 mana, so Bolt kills it more reliably. But I think I'm just gonna play another Goyf and attack for 2. It's not great, but it's kind of the best line I got other than just holding up double removal. It could definitely be incorrect to just not kill this Risen Reef on sight. Would have loved just untapped land though. Then I could do both. Yeah, I think the tiebreaker between just kill this or play other Goyf is that I can't beat this deck's long game. So I think I have to make the game just short, which means I'm attacking as much as I can. Jeez. Well, that kills a Goyf. Well, that makes me a little bit happier that I played second Goyf, because I get to still attack. Oh, do you have the Thunderkin? Okay, it's not a Thunderkin, but it's bad. I need to find a fast land, I think. I need to kill this Unsettled Mariner, and then I need to kill this this Risen Reef. Now all my stuff costs 2. Damn. Well, I guess I could still pay 2, activate it, and then play my removal spell. But that doesn't actually work, because all my removal spells just cost 2. So I guess we're killing Risen Reef. And I need to attack. So we're getting for a measly 3. We've been playing 4 Ragavan, 4 Voidwalker, and Loris's Companion. Yeah, that seems cool. Unfortunately, Ragavan and Voidwalker are not yet available on Mana Traders. Or they are, I just haven't been able to get copies of them. Yikes. Yep, this is the long game. Oh, they hit Skelemental too. Even if we drop Plague Engineer, we can't cast it because our fetch land costs 2 to activate. Yeah, Ignoble Hierarch has not looked good this league. More than once it's been worse than a land. Yeah, like being able to turn 2 a 3-mana Planeswalker feels really good. But I mean, a lot of the time, like our Planeswalkers aren't the kind of Planeswalkers to end the game on their own. They help, but a lot of the time it's not even the end all be all. So it feels like the potential upside just isn't even there. Build Yorion. This hand's a keep. James says doesn't think it's the right color card for John, but maybe the monkey is. Yeah, I mean, I'll try the monkey as soon as I'm able to get my hands on a couple copies. So versus Yorion, it's pretty likely that the Dark Confidant is going to be great. But this hand is painful. So to maximize Bob being good, I think I'm just going to get a basic here. So getting basic Swamp means I'm getting Stomping Ground next. So let's use the Mire. Well, I probably don't want to get basic Forest because my hand is so black and red intensive. So I'll get Swamp off of Verdant. Oh, it's Niv? Jeez. Well, I guess I'm taking the Accelerant. Teferi is really annoying, but their Accelerant's gonna turn their hand on is gonna really turn their hand on. I can't take Utopia Sprawl. I can't take Teferi knowing they've got Utopia Sprawl. Like no, if I take Kai's Gala or Time Raveler and leave them with the Sprawl, Bob gets answered no matter what. So I think I just have to take the Sprawl. So I'll get Stomping Ground, play Bob. Then we'll get at least 1 card off of it. Assuming no Helix. Alright, no Helix. Another threat would be really, really good here. Because we don't want them bouncing both of our things. Or if they bounce something, we want to still have pressure to kill the Teferi. And we found it. So that much is good. Get in. Yeah, with if we didn't find a threat there, I think we go from like 40% to win this game to like 10% to win this game. As we are now, we're doing okay. We're not an underdog yet. We get to Bloodbraid next turn unless they choose to Teferi, in which case I should probably just save the Bloodbraid for when I can actually get the second card. Because remember, Teferi static stops Cascade. Is it Tef time? It's Tef time. So we'll get, I guess, Blood Crypt, second black, second red. This is why having that second creature in play was big, because now we get to kill the Teferi. Inquisition takes Guile. That's good. Or Abundant Growth, which they haven't cast yet. They've got Omnath. We've got Terminate for Omnath, so not the end of the world. Could also push it. This is a... how big? 4 or 5? We should probably still just guarantee kill the Teferi. It also just adds Walker to the yard. Saying, do we attack and kill Teferi and cast BBE main phase 2? Oh, you like my line better? Okay. Yeah, I think I like this. It's very much a resource game, but I think while it is a resource game, we kind of have to be the beatdown because again, their end game is probably just stronger than ours. So there's an interesting decision here. Terminate can kill things like Niv Mizzet, whereas Push can already kill things like Omnath. So I think I'm actually just gonna untap, fetch, and then push off of this, paying only 1 life. Because again, I want this Bob to be good. So I'm just gonna untap and plan on pushing this. We revealed Inquisition. Well, we know that takes at least Abundant Growth. There's already enchantment in the yard. Alright, so I guess we could still just lead on it. They've got Abundant Growth, Utopia Sprawl. Well, I guess I'll take the one that draws a card. And then we can fetch. If I get basic Swamp, I can Terminate end step. I think that's actually worth it, because if they do draw Niv, I want to be able to Terminate and then untap and Bloodbraid to attack for a chunk. So I think I will just get basic Swamp. Cast with Revolt. Play this tapped. Get in for a chunk. Thwack. So if they only play a creature here, we can Terminate it and then kill them with Bloodbraid on top of our other attacks. So it's working out, assuming they don't like just draw, bring to light, and have a sweeper of some kind, or just draw the sweeper. Right, because this is 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 3 is 11. That's enough. Vindicate. Brutal. They do get to play Vindicate, don't they? I mean, we're still doing fine. Assuming they don't draw another piece of interaction, we can still just attack for 5 and then have another attack. There are also some combinations with the Bloodbraid that have them dying this turn. Okay. Revealed Grist. I still think we're wanting to Bloodbraid here. Because if they have a creature, we want to be able to still attack. So let's, I think, still just Bloodbraid. Red, green. We hit Kolagon's command. So their hand is land. Let's, I guess, shock them, get back Tarmogoyf. So return this, shock you. So we can now put you to 2, which has us with 2 lethal attackers. They still have plenty of draws that are bad for us. Omnath would be bad because it's draw a card, gain 4 at least. Bring to Light would be bad because it's anything they want. So, I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, but if they blank here, we're good. If we had pushed the Omnath earlier, you'd be in a much better spot. We killed it immediately. They played it with 4 lands in play, and then we pushed it. So I could not have killed it any earlier. Helix. Well, that gets them out of range. We can knock them to 2 again. They've got Omnath. Yep. I mean, we can terminate Omnath, so that's not going to be enough. We could also just play Grist as well. And another Bob. We've got 6 mana, so we can't quite do it all. I think Grist is better than playing 2 creatures, because if they find a sweeper, we're not just reset to 0. So I think I'm going to Goyf. I guess putting them to 2 is probably good. Let's I guess play Bob and the Grist. Bob is weaker to Renin 6 plus something, though, so I guess that would be the reason to play Goyf then. Let's do this first. So what he's getting at is if you pushed on their turn, could have gotten more pressure by casting BBE on our next turn. That's true. That's true. We milled a land. Alright, and then to play around them drawing a Renin 6, I'll play the Goyf. Yeah, I think the reason why I didn't do that is was at the time I wasn't sure if I was getting basic Swamp or not, and then I wanted the Bob to be good, so I didn't really feel like fetch shocking when I didn't know how many more turns the game was going to go on. Had I been knowing that I was going to get basic Swamp, then yeah, I should have pushed end step. Sick. Got there. Feels good to grab it, but you're right. We could have maybe competed a little bit more had we pushed end step. So I typically like just taking out all the spot removal. Terminate might be a necessary evil. We don't have that many good sideboard cards for the matchup. It's kind of just Ashiok. Leyline doesn't do anything, right? They do a lot of searching, though, especially with Bring to Light, so I like the Ashiok. This could be cute, but it's going to cost 5 mana literally every time. And 5 mana feels like too much. I mean, in a top deck war, literally anything is good. There are no colorless lands in their deck, right? They don't play Cavern of Souls or anything like that. The sea redeem, drink some water. Well, I've got some watermelon. Is that close enough for you? Everyone's got their own play style, and that's why you like John. Well, I mean, I feel like that's true, but in the specific example being brought up, I think I was just wrong. You don't like watermelon? Yeah, I don't think I'm bringing in Charmaw here. I'll just swap my pushes for Ashioks and call it a day. You don't like watermelon? That's fair. Well, I did say we need to be the beatdown. We don't have very many good grindy tools. And we're going to really hope they don't have Ren and 6. Do I even have water? I do. Past me was watching out for future me. Alright, are we on the cross fingers no Ren and 6 train? I mean, we're not... We didn't put Ignoble in the deck to not cast it on turn 1. Dark Reprisal likes watermelon. It's 2 versus 1. You got the Ren and 6. They don't. Huzzah. We don't have anything good to cast. Still don't have anything good to cast. I guess I'm just gonna play Goyf here. Goyf is still within Helix range, but I think I gotta deploy pressure. I'll get in for 1. Aggro. Iggy beatdowns. Don't really think there's any benefit to holding up Kolaghan's command just because it's mana efficient. Next turn we get to Bloodbraid though. Yeah, get in there. 1. In 18 turns you're in some serious trouble. Hey, at least it's Kaya's Guile fodder. Oh, now they have it. I guess they could have had it last turn. But, they just didn't have the untapped land, I guess. Oh, they just need the land? Okay. I mean, Bloodbraid gets to attack Ren and 6 for 4 if it attacks alone. Which looks like it's the plan. Turn 3 Bloodbraid. We hit Liliana. That's solid. I guess we'll ditch Forest. They obviously didn't have another land, right? Because they really needed to buy this Misty instead of just killing this. But maybe killing this means Goyf just gets to kill their Ren and 6. So maybe minusing just isn't even the play anymore. Unless they discard something that's 3 types, not including land, I'm just going to attack this for 4. They discarded enchantment. Alright, so begin combat. Let's move to attacks. This has to attack there, and I can't attack with this because then we don't exalt and kill that. Alright, Goyf got big. Overnight. Alright, well this is a pretty good board for turn 3. Ignoble did facilitate this. We didn't actually use Ignoble mana until this turn. Why not double attack Ren? I mean, Ren still dies, but this leaves the Goyf untapped. They could, in theory, be playing something like Bloodbraid, so having the Tarmogoyf back to protect the Liliana, I think, is better. Like, it's dying anyway, so there's no reason to attack both. They don't have Bolt, not in this deck. No, yeah, they're not going to remove for 1 at 1 mana. They just don't play it. Pretty much everything in the deck other than Veil and like their 1 mana accelerants is 2 colors. The deck just doesn't play it. I'd be very surprised if they had it. Another Ren and 6, sure. Buy back a Misty. Yep. Alright, I mean, we could still be in trouble. Next turn is the Bring to Light / Niv turn. We've got the Liliana in play to edict whatever creature. Jeez. So I could apply maximum pressure and just hope for no verdict. I mean, now we've got Goyf at 4 power, so now we could attack the run and 6 for 4 and the opponent for 3. There's still not much removal they could have for any one creature at 2 mana. I think I'm just going to send Goyf at Ren, 3 at them, see what they do. 100% as a 5 mana play? Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't. They could have 4 mana play. They could just have another Omnath, or the first Omnath. They haven't actually had the ability, or I guess the window to cast a 4 mana spell yet. So let's try to kill a Ren and hit the opponent for 3. I could just I'm the beatdown, go to the opponent's face here. But if the opponent's got Verdict, if that feels unlikely to work. And again, with 1 Verdict in the deck and 4 Bring to Lights, they've got 5 Verdicts that we have to play around. Granted, they've got 80 card deck. Okay. So do I want to just go Goyf and hope they don't Verdict me? I mean, I've got decent pressure in play already. I think what I'm going to do is probably just plus Liliana, ditch the Peatland. Yeah, and then I'll probably end up Kolaghan's Commanding End Step. I guess I could ditch a Goyf with the intention of just buying it back. I mean, what would the modes be on this otherwise? Yeah, I think I'm just going to ditch a Goyf, buy it back. The other mode probably just be they discard a card. If this were any other land but Peatland, I think I would just discard the land, but this cycling means it's got some value. I don't think I want to sack Peatland now because there's not much I could draw that would have me wanting to cast it. I guess it would be like another Planeswalker would be the reason to sacrifice it immediately. Here comes the 5 mana thing. It's the Niv. We've got the Liliana in play. So yeah, I mean, had I played another Goyf, we could have maybe just killed them. So they don't get to keep these. They only get 1 Prismari command. So it was a draw 2. Not the best Niv. So now here I get to shock them, put them to 11, attack for 8, put you to 3. Return a creature, shock you. Yeah, maybe I should have just high rolled, played a Goyf, because that means this play doesn't work anymore. But they don't make this play if I play another Goyf. I guess I'll sack Peeling, because if I find the other Bloodbraid, I get to just kill them, right? Because it's 4, 7, actually it's 10, it's 1 off. Yeah, let's sack it. Blood Crypt, sure. Helix gets to finish off Liliana, which is annoying. Definitely have to kill this Niv, though. Gotta get stuff out of the way so I can attack. So we have... So now it is 8, puts you to 3. So, I mean, playing another Goyf here would at least mean that they have less time to use a Helix on the Liliana. So I think playing a Goyf here is probably good. Yeah, I think maybe I should have just played it last turn and hope they didn't have it. I mean, even if I played it and they had it, I had another Goyf and Kolaghan's Command to buy it back. So, yeah, hindsight, I wish I'd played a Goyf last turn. Jam. Put you to 3. Do you not have a Lightning Bolt? Now I think I'm not playing second Goyf because I don't have Kolaghan's Command, and if they have a sweeper, I need something. If they have sweeper, I want to make sure I can cast Bloodbraid if I find it, so I'll play the land. Think they play Niv instead of board wipe? I don't think, you just don't think they have it. We'll see. I mean, the 2 cards they hit don't do a lot off of the 2 cards they hit off the Niv, that is. Yorian's not yet in hand. Yeah, I mean, I think if they have the decision between Niv and Bring to Light, they still just Bring to Light for the verdict, because if they can Niv on the following turn onto an empty board, they're just so ahead on cards. So I wouldn't rule it out. Yeah, so that could be a gain 4. They could also play a fetch lands to make mana, which would let them Helix the Liliana as well to make it harder to kill. But if they Helix the Liliana and don't do something else, are they still dead to the onboard? They are, right? Because we can hit for 5 and 3 is 8. That still has them dead. Actually, it's more like they have a wipe because they have Verdicts and Bring to Light. Yeah, I think they only usually play like 1, maybe 2 Verdicts. It was like they usually just tutor for whatever they need. But I think with the most lists I've seen, I only play the 1. Could be wrong. I'm not loving the spot because there are definitely ways this could go poorly. They could sack this on their turn to go up to 11, but then we get to have a chance to edict them. I guess that's not true if they just like fetch shock, Helix it at upkeep. They would go to 11, then fetch shock back down to 8. That still kills them 5 plus 3. So what do they need? So it's like 4% more likely. Show me the math and I'll believe you. Obviously, being sarcastic. You don't have to show me math. They 100% would have board wiped instead of playing Omnath. Yeah, I think that my opinion is they would have board wiped instead of Omnath. Or Niv. They Niv'd, right? So I think they don't have it. So they make lots of mana. So they've got 6 mana now. If they can find a way to put a land into play, they could have Omnath just kill Liliana that way. But I don't think they play any growth spiral effects. They've already played a land this turn, which was the fetch. Well, they're dumping it into something. Maybe they have to like Prismari command, kill that and Helix, but they don't have red mana anymore. I guess they can make a treasure, and they can use that to Helix using this as white. But that still just puts them in chump block mode. Yeah, that's the line. Alright, so I guess Omnath is in chump block mode. If we can find a way to kill it, we're in easy mode. We're 1 off. There's already instant in the yard, right? Yeah. I mean, I guess we attack. I mean, my read is they don't have it. Is there any reason to play other Goyf? If they find another Omnath and have a fetch land, that puts them, or any land that puts them to 8, so they'd be back in chump block mode, but this time they would take 5, go to 3, and bolt them. If they have Omnath plus fetch land, it does change, right? You wanted me to attack with 1? I don't think that actually achieves anything, though. All that does is tell them that I've got a bolt. That just tells them I have a bolt. Like, leaving something untapped here I don't think matters, because there's not a planeswalker that I have to defend, and their haste creatures, if they play Bloodbraid, aren't attacking. I think they don't have it. I'm going to hope they don't draw it. If they've got it, maybe we get in with Ignoble Beats plus Bolt. Ready for the Maelstrom Pulse blowout? We can beat the Pulse. Oh, you were joking? Okay. Make a sense. The Ultra Alpha move. Yeah, if they've got if they cast a sleeper here, I'm assuming they've drawn it. I guess another reason to play other Goyfir is if they entwine a Kaya's Guile, that would be a reason to have wanted to play, right? Because they could have a sack and block and gain 4, and you can no longer kill them. So please no sweeper. Well, they drew it. I think they drew it. They could have had it, but I'm assuming. Oh, there's no sweeper in the deck. Did they take it out? I feel like if they took it out, that was a mistake. Unless they're going to play a fetch land and then cast it from hand, but then they're losing their Omnath too. Which I guess could be a thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's in hand. Which means they must have had it, right? Because they either had the Verdict or the Bring to Light. So that they must have had it. Unless it's just really not in the deck. This is another Bring to Light. Oh, it is Kaya's Guile. Alright, so each opponent sacrifices a creature and exiles all cards from the yard. Oh, they're full moding it. Okay, so sacrifice a creature. This. So now we get to connect for 6. Bolt them. It's still short, but they're still in chump block mode. Unless we just draw more burn. I guess Thoughtseize is fine. Yeah, in a sec. Hands us 2 lands. Alright, time to jam. Still in chump block mode. Oh, yeah, I needed to bolt this. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I got distracted. You're right. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Yeah, I needed to bolt that. I got distracted, sorry. Watch me lose now. They drew the nib. I don't think that's gonna be good enough though. I mean, they need to stop literally every Goyf. Unless they have Maelstrom Pulse in the deck, which they could. Yeah, they didn't hit it. If they hit Maelstrom Pulse, then I could actually lose, which would be hilarious. Oh, yeah, but it looks like this won't be enough though. Yeah, Chaos. Hierarch has seemed pretty bad. Yeah, I need to get that punt command. There are a bunch of commands I need to get set up. I honestly haven't put enough effort into getting the commands working. The only command that I do have working is Stream Decker. All right, I'll be back in about 10 to 20 seconds. Opponent was second on the trophy ladder. Cool. To be honest, I feel like that's not a great. It's not a great Jund matchup. It's like they're I feel like we keep playing against mid range decks, and I feel like I'm saying over and over again that it's not a great Jund matchup because like it feels like our end game is just not the end all be all anymore. But I mean, Grist might be the thing that helps that because Grist does seem like it'd be good in those kinds of matchups. Yeah, James, that was the bolt go moment. I have to do at least one a month, or else I'm not me, right? The moment I don't have a bolt go moment, the first month I don't have a bolt go moment, you know an imposter has taken over. Only winding me up? Well, you do a good job. I gotta go find a phone charger since we haven't found the match yet. Did we get one? Oh, we did! I'm coming! Alright. Okie dokie. The Pantheist Pope. Alright, well, yeah. Not a lot of Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes today. We're pretty good at drawing on late game, though. Alright, let's, I guess, lead here. What did she say? I don't remember what I said. Come on, play a 1-1. Oh, God. Goblin Guide. Well, we've got a good chunk of the tools that I think we would need to win here. We can stomp this guide. And then we've got a Gwaif to apply a decent amount of pressure. Not having 1-mana removal for this feels bad. But it is what it is. I'm gonna wait for this to attack before I stomp it again. If they want a Boros Charm to make this survive, I feel like it's just a win, like a mini win. This could still easily just be burn. Jeez. All right. Well, things are gonna be difficult if we've got a triple creature draw and I don't have 1-mana removal. Alright, this stomp is happening no matter what. So let's just do it now. We've got Liliana on top. We don't have more black, unfortunately. And I think I'm going to use the Kolagon's command first. I could just play Bone Crusher, but that opens me up to getting Searing Blazed, and that seems horrendous for me. So I think I'm going to Kolagon's command because it's more mana. Like next turn, maybe we get to Gwaif plus Bone Crusher, or well, sorry, Gwaif plus another Stomp. So you'll discard. I guess any spell grows this. Maybe they give me a land. To be honest, there I didn't see the line of bolting. The one was focused on face. Yeah, my half a second of distracted thought was thinking the same thing. They discarded an Eidolon. They didn't want to just Eidolon me? Okay. Wayward Guide Beast. Okay. I think we're losing this first game. We've got Thoughtseize on top. Well, I mean, Thoughtseize is still gonna, on average, like, gain me 1 life, right? Now you got the Eidolon. Yikes. Thoughtseize looking a lot less good now. So if I Goyf, I go to 9. If I Stomp, I take 4, go to 7. I mean, playing Goyf at least stops their attacks. Let's do that. Like, if they want to attack, I get to kill the Eidolon. I go to 5. Not ideal. See, I mean, even if I knew I was playing against Burn, I think I can't really mulligan that hand. The creatures and us not having 1 mana removal feels pretty poor. Yeah, pitching Eidolon when they had a backup makes sense, but I think I still, if I were them, would have just played second Eidolon as soon as possible. Yeah, I mean, they don't really have a good attack. Alright, I guess they think they do. I mean, if they've got just 2 burn spells, then it makes sense. Another Goyf. Okay, let's block Eidolon. I'm just going to yield. They know I don't have removal because I would have used it by now. Bolted a Jace. Yeah, I think I've made that exact mistake before. I would say it only happens once, but clearly not. Because I've done it multiple times. So they've got the blue-red thing in hand. Lavamancer. Well, we can ping that with Ren and 6. We've got Goyf on top, though. Kind of feel like I just have to kill this, right? So it's how do I want to do it? Do I want to do it with Bone Crusher, or do I want to do it with the Ren and 6? I guess I should probably do it with Ren and 6, because Stomp can kill something else. I could play Goyf here, but that like more adequately blocks their stuff. Like, either way, it's a gain 2. And then I could maybe Ren and 6 next turn. That line at least has me putting a creature into play. You know, I'm still just dead to a burn spell. But I think maybe Goyfing is better. Yeah, maybe Goyfing is just better. Even, like, just let this activated. Because, like, I'm blocking either way. The downside of letting this activate is they could remove types. Like, if they remove Eidolon, they remove just enchantment. I guess they could also remove land. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, playing Goyf also turns around faster if I live another turn. Yeah, I think I'm dead to a burn spell no matter what. So let's just pass. I could have I guess Thoughtseized. Because they would still just put me to 1. 1 and 2 are different in the context of Searing Blaze, but we know they have the land, so they get the landfall anyway. So yeah, maybe I should have even Thoughtseize there, because it would have defended versus a 2-mana thing. It's just a lot worse if they don't have any actual spells. Alright, we're dead. We're dead. Okie doke. We've got some good sideboard cards. Fatal Push in. Brutality in. Thoughtseize out. Dark Confidant out. Mana value. So I'm not super excited about Ren and 6, but there's not much that's better. Let's just submit. They played Lavamancer, so I guess it kills something. They seem to be very heavy on creatures, so maybe that'd be a reason to bring in the Plague Engineer. Like, they're playing Wayward Guide Beast. Alright, we've got a Brutality. We can't mulligan. Again, no 1-mana removal, but I guess we just lead on Blood Crypt. So this, no. Yeah, no 1 minute interaction hurts. But I mean, we get the brutality next turn. And I guess I'll ditch Mountain. We need double black for Liliana and obviously green source number 1. Ideally, they just like play a Goblin Guide and it gives us a land. Okay. Land, please. Darn. Brutality on top, though. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, so let's 3-mode it. 3 modes. You. We can ditch Redundant to Liliana and Basic Mountain. Liliana's going to be asymmetrical really quickly. We almost didn't have a target. Something to keep in mind for other brutality. So this is whenever it deals common damage to a player, or in general? To a player. Okay, so Eidolon. So if we Edict this thing, they get to just attack it. So I kind of want to Brutality it. And I guess I'll just discard the Ignoble. We know there's nothing in their hand that we get to take, so I think I'm just going to Brutality, discard Ignoble, kill this, drain them. I mean, if they just go creature next turn, it's also not great. I mean, I guess if I Liliana, I get to at least Edict something that's good. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna Liliana Edict because it's gonna give me it's gonna be essentially gaining me life next turn when they attack it, and then I can just Brutality whatever it is they attack. Sure. Okay. So Swamp, Liliana, take my 2, Edict you. I mean, our life total is pretty healthy. We just need to find a threat. Goyf would be great. Bone Crusher would be great. Even Bloodbraid at this point would be fine. We're short of mana, but maybe Ignoble provides that. Guide Beast. Lavamancer, as predicted. I'm assuming they're gonna go out Liliana, although they have a lot of lands in hand, so maybe they're like okay discarding a couple cards. Yeah. There's the kicker. So I could just play it as a 4/3. I don't think that's correct, though. I think I should just continue grinding them out. This thing doesn't have unlimited ammo, so it's like, what do I even want to kill? Should probably still just be this, because this can target stuff. I mean, the target is almost always just going to be me. We'll 2-mode it. -2/-2, drain, cast. This. Ditch that. Back to 20. They got another mountain. Are there really? I guess the fetches are just for Searing Blaze purposes. And then I might just play this immediately as a 4/3. I guess that's worse if they've got removal. So maybe Stomp first is still correct. I mean, we're not really in a safe place to attack until we kill this anyway. It's a good sign. They've already played a land. If they hit us, they bounce one. I mean, 3 is all they probably ever need in play anyway. Boing a mountain. You've got 2 mountains in hand. We found the Terminate. I think I'm still just stomping. Yeah, I'm just still stomping. If they play like a Goblin Guide, I'll shoot the Goblin Guide because this has more downside for them. And I'm going to use this first because I want to play the Bone Crusher without losing the stomp value. Wow, okay. Bone Crusher. I could keep the Verdant in hand in case I find my third copy of Brutality, but I also have 2 Bloodbraids in the deck, so if I find those, I'm going to want to be able to cast it. You got the Searing Blaze. The read was correct. Well, I'm not going to not play Bone Crusher. I have to win somehow. At least Kolagon's Command's a good draw now. This will get 2nd red. I guess more... I would get Blood Crypt here, but I definitely want 2nd red, and I guess more green, so Stomping Ground. Ragavan. Dashed. Uh-oh. Can't terminate it yet. Please just hit a land. Bolt. Uh-oh. Well, that just goes to face, I guess. Alright, well, I can terminate Ragavan now. I'll be sure to kill it after they've attacked, so they can't dash a new one. What I would really like to find is a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf would be the most ideal. Well, I guess that does a thing. We at least get a Ragavan. Bolt to the Dome. Shard Volley. Kind of like a Bolt to the Dome. So their hand's a land. We can terminate a hasty creature, but we need to find a way to win the game. Hopefully they just don't find burn spells. Creatures we can deal with. You found the bolt immediately? Yikes. You got another one? Well, it was easy for one of us. When we cast 2 brutalities that game, we just never found a threat. We need ways to win, right? Alright, so let's do a summary for purposes of the recording. I was pretty skeptical of this card to begin with. After a couple of leagues, it was not impressive, but it had a couple of games where it was cool. But now I'm just off this card. Like, I feel like the Jund community, at least as far as the Facebook groups that I'm in goes, were very split on this card. Half were very adamant it would be fantastic, and half were like, this card's not playable. I think I was like towards-ish the middle ground, but leaning towards unplayable. Now I think I'm gonna say this card's pretty much unplayable. The nutcase scenario is you've got this on turn 1, and then you can turn 2 one of the 3 mana walkers, or just double spell with the 2 and a 1 with the 1 mana play and a 2 mana play. But like even in the context of a 1 mana play and a 2 mana play, you could have just done the 1 mana play on turn 1 and then the 2 mana play on turn 2, and then you've like achieved the same thing. So, I mean, it feels like the only real nut scenario with this thing is curving into a Planeswalker head of schedule. And a lot of the time, even when you do that, that's not going to be the end-all, be-all. The opponent's still going to be in the fight. We're not the kind of deck where we're trying to execute some powerful combo or synergy where, like, we having that extra mana means a lot. Like, Exalted is nice, but it has very rarely come up. And the upside of this card, I just don't think is there. I am off of this card. Like, I wasn't on it. I was never completely off of it, but now I'm completely off of it. I don't like Ignoble Hierarch in the context of traditional Jund. On the other hand, Grist has continued to impress. It kind of just does everything. It's a 3 mana 3 Loyalty Walker that pluses to go up to a 4, which is relevant because Lightning Bolt is extremely popular and it's out of bolt range. In addition to being out of bolt range, the +1 ability protects itself, which is the first big indicator of a strong Planeswalker. And then the -2, despite needing to sacrifice a creature, gets to kill troublesome creatures and troublesome Planeswalkers. And it also just synergizes with its own +1. So a lot of the time the sack creature is not even that big of a cost. So Grist has been very impressive, and it being a creature in other zones other than the battlefield has been relevant in the past. Because obviously it counts itself if you -5 it when it's got 5 loyalty. So if you -5 it and have it die, it counts itself because it's a creature in the yard. And also it being a creature in the yard means you can Kolaghan's Command it back, which we have done a couple times. And the card just seems phenomenal. It's been very good for me, and I think it's got all the good marks of a good Planeswalker. I don't think it will be as ubiquitous as Wrenn 6, because Wrenn 6 is pretty splash-worthy. But I think Grist is probably not as splash-worthy. Wrenn 6 did a lot for smoothing out basically every deck that it was in, because you were buying lands back as early as turn 2. But Grist doesn't have that kind of immediate return. And it's also a mana, an extra mana. So I don't think Grist is on the same wavelength as Wrenn 6, but I do still think this card is quite good. So I like Grist. I'd probably, in my experience so far, rate this a 7 out of 10. I think pretty solidly. And I think I'd rate Ignoble like a 2 out of 10. So I'm not ever playing this, but in formats where people are really trying to be grindy and slow, or even not even grindy, like even like fast to even like slower fast, like I guess like slow medium, I guess would be the way I want to describe it. Like Grist also just seems like it could be great there too, because I mean plus wanting to just block a bunch of stuff or kill problematic creatures like Glyphs or Shadows, it just seems very good. So I mean Grist has been great. And Ignoble has not been. The rest of the deck has felt pretty good. Just multiple scenarios where Ignoble was strictly worse than a land. So I think maybe our record turns out a little bit better had Ignoble just not been Ignoble. So I am off of it. But I mean, I guess we can talk more about Obsidian Charmaw. Again, another league where we didn't board it in. There just aren't that many Tron decks out there right now, which is exciting. But I think it's mainly just because a lot of the people are out there playing their Modern Horizons brews, and none of those brews contain Tron lands. So I mean, Charmaw just hasn't really looked that impressive. But again, what in the matchups where it's good, I imagine it works pretty much as expected, pretty much as intended. So I don't really, I think, have to test this a whole lot to be able to say that I'm fairly certain this card is good. Again, it's got the drawback of your opponent, it's kind of like Pillage, right? So like your opponent, if they're playing Tron and they're on the play, they're going to have the ability to assemble Tron before you reach your 3rd mana, so before you get to Charmaw. So it does have that liability, but it having a clock, and a decently evasive clock attached to it, I think is a big plus in its favor. So I think this is definitely better than something like Pillage or Molten Rain or Stone Rain or whatever 3-mana land destruction. But I think this is at least in competition with the 2-mana land destruction, which is that new double black thing, which is Sinkhole versus colorless lands and snow permanents, or snow lands, and Cleansing Wildfire. So I'm not sure what's better between this and the 2-mana stuff, but I'm pretty sure in terms of the 3-mana stuff, this is ahead of the pack by a decent margin. So those are my thoughts on the new cards for this league. I'm going to end the recording there. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you had a good time. So until next time, remember to like and subscribe, and John them out.